Do all superheroes have mommy issues? Captain America: Civil War, starring Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., and directed by the Russo Brothers. The latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe tells the story of how the world's governments want to put the handcuffs on the Avengers. The collateral damage of the world's greatest heroes has started to pile up, and world leaders want to tell the Avengers when they should and shouldn't act. This idea doesn't sit well with Captain America, who doesn't want his team beholden to anyone. He doesn't want a group of bureaucrats sending him somewhere for their benefit, and not to a place they are truly needed. Tony Stark feels that the Avengers need to be put in check, or they are no better than the villains they fight. Flash back to the first two Iron Man films. Look at how much Tony Stark has changed as a character from those films. If that Tony Stark had been presented with the Slovenia Accords, he would have laughed at them. He wouldn't want any type of government to have any control over him or his suits. In fact, he worked extremely hard in the first two films to ensure his technology didn't end up in the government's hands. While I still think he would fight to turn his tech over to the government, he is still willing to be put in check because of the damage he has caused. He doesn't trust himself after creating Ultron and other events leading up to this film. What is great about Civil War is if you didn't know how much Tony has changed, his point of view is still valid. Those who have watched the previous films can appreciate the character's growth, but they aren't necessary for enjoying this film. If one movie is crucial for understanding the character's motivations in this film, it would be Winter Soldier. That film gives a good backstory on the relationship between Steve and Bucky and the lengths Steve will go to save his friend. Civil War, even with the numerous characters shown on screen, is still very much a Captain America film. The movie does a great job of exploring both sides of the argument. Whatever side you fall on, you can see why the other side feels the way they do. It isn't clear for the audience which side you really should be pulling for. And that was the point of the movie, and they pulled it off brilliantly. The story fits together so well. You are taken for a fun, enjoyable ride, but with heavy stakes for both sides. The story is great, and then you throw in the amazing action. There are a few action sequences in this movie that are simply stunning. Yes, everyone is rightly talking about the funny and exciting airport scene, in which Spider-Man stole the show. But there are other action sequences on top of this that are amazing. The opening action sequence is equal to or better than the one in Winter Soldier. The chase scene through the streets was intense and was a great introduction to Black Panther. The in-fight scene between Captain America, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier was a great climax. But I did have issue with Tony's motivations for fighting in the end. This was my biggest complaint of the movie. I didn't believe Tony Stark would continue to fight within the framework of this film. Yes, he would be mad and upset. I'm just not sure he would have reacted the way he did based on what we know of the character. The fight was still amazing and a great payoff for the film. It was also orchestrated by the main villain, whose motivations I understand, but that was the weakest point of the story. At the end of the movie, Tony is in a place of acceptance about events leading up to this point, but then he reverses course. Like I said, it's a great fight. I just wish they would have found another reason for the fight. This was the only negative I could come up with for the film. Well, maybe other than the font used to display each location. It was a little too blaring and in your face, but that's a very small nitpick. That was the only negative I had for the film. It is so well paced, so well acted, with great action and investment in the story that you can't wait to see where it is going. I want to see the film again in the theater just to take it all in one more time. This is an event film and should be seen in theaters. It is worth seeing multiple times if you have been invested in these characters since the Marvel Cinematic Universe has taken off. If you're watching this, you have probably already seen Captain America: Civil War. But if not, are you planning to go see the movie in the theaters? Or do you have superhero fatigue? If you have seen it, did you like Tony's reasons for fighting in the end? Comment and let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching, and bye.